Hi, grade six. It's Miss Jones again, ready to start the lesson on Wednesday. So, I'm going to walk you through the slides quickly on what to do today, and then I'm going to show you a couple of links that are in the Google Classroom assignment that you can use to help keep you on task. Okay, so continuing with the objectives this week, I can take thorough notes from resources I find valuable. I can track my own ideas on a graphic organizer, and I can identify the seven spokes of civilization within my chosen ancient civilization. All right, so for Wednesday, we are going together to do a review of Destiny Collection. I want to review something that you've seen from both your humanities teachers and Miss Legita, our librarian. And then what you have to get done today is continuing research on a graphic organizer. So, making sure that we can be really positive that civilization we're studying can be classified as a civilization, we need to read and take notes from valuable resources. And then we need to find evidence and examples so that we can really argue our compelling questions. That's what we're kind of aiming for today through our research. So I just want you to think about a few things from yesterday with your questions. Are they all sorted? Did you have one you were unsure of? If you're not sure, ask a teacher now. In a group chat, you can even email one of us if there's one you're not sure of. I have clicked through a few of them, and I worked with someone yesterday, and they were kind of limiting their options for resources by being too specific. And the student admitted to me, "Well, I have some background knowledge, so I know that chariots are going to come up when I talk about ancient Rome." And rather than think about technology, they were focused on the one piece of information that they already knew. So we kind of had to review that question to think about, are we limiting what we might come up with? So if you have anything you're unsure about with your questions, you need to just pause now and get support for that. I want you to also think about how your research is going. Have you read anything that has made you think of another question? So, a big part of grade six is being able to revise your research questions. Have you learned a new term, a new phrase that has kind of said, okay, well, now I have another question that supports my questions about technology within the civilization? Let me ask another supporting question that will teach me more about technology. And I want you to keep going. The more you know and understand about this civilization, I shouldn't have said your culture, the better you can answer the compelling question. So try to focus your research, double check your notes and ideas, and think about this. Are they your own ideas in your own writing? Aim today to answer at least one question, but feel free to extend to more. There have been a few questions about, well, I read something that answered two questions. It talked about religion and it talked about stable food supply. You are more than welcome to use one resource within multiple questions. Absolutely. So don't think that, well, I have to go find something different. If it's a really great resource that answers a lot of questions, then congratulations, you've just found a really amazing resource to learn from. Okay, so I wanted to kind of create a checklist for you. You must open your research notes document from Tuesday. I did label it Tuesday supporting research questions to kind of keep you sorted. It's the same document we'll use all week that's due on Saturday evening. So just keep that in mind that you need to open that and keep working in it. That same copy from yesterday's will you be working is where you will be working today. You must find a text that you want to read. It can be from the resource folder that I've been sharing with you, or this is what we're going to talk about today, library resources, or from the MS research site. So I'll show you those other two things to help you because I know that some of you are a bit frustrated with some of the resources in the folder. And if you remember, the folder was sort of a backup plan if we didn't have internet, but thankfully we all seem to have fairly stable internet connection, so we can find resources that better suit our learning. The third task is you must read the text and type notes on your document. The jot notes should not be copy and pasted. They should be short phrases that convey the message of what you read. And the next one, make sure you add your own ideas. What do you now understand about this civilization? The My Ideas section should not have the same wording as the passage that you read. I've actually already looked through a few documents from students that were working ahead today, and I've seen it's quite evident to me it's direct plagiarism. Their jot notes and my ideas are pretty much the same thing, which tells me it's not your idea. If you jotted the notes from an author, then it's not your idea. So this is something we're going to work through over the next week or so, but I just want you to be really aware that your own ideas are not the same wording as what you've read. Now, here's where you may do something. If you are running out of space, you can totally add a new table, and I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video, okay? All right, so I want to review a few things with you. If you recall, this is something that we talked about early in the unit, and on the library website right here, that I had you bookmark, there are two links to begin with, and the first one is the Follett Destiny. So that's the picture you just saw on the slides. And when you click on that one, it should, if you'll be patient with it, it should bring up the collections. And this is where we did the scavenger hunt. So, all right. And then, of course, if you recall, we can click all collections. We can scroll down until we find the grade 6 civilization collection. And this is where we can sort our resources and then filter them by what we need. Now, that's amazing. If this is something and you're finding a ton of information, then that's awesome. You're doing well. If you are in this one and you're just not finding what you want, I want to show you another option. Okay. So the Destiny collection is always there. If you notice, there's another box next to it that Miss Legita showed you, but I'm not sure if we'll remember that this link takes you there. I've also put the link in Google Classroom. That will take you to this research site. And the funny thing is, when I clicked these drop down menus, I couldn't find what I was looking for. And I kept thinking to myself, I know we talked about this with Miss Legita. I had to actually come hit the home page on the middle school, high school research site. This is what I was looking for. So this is awesome because it lists a lot of different resources that are available as soon as the website fully downloads for Miss Jones. And the Destiny Discover is where we just were. We just have a lot of kind of shortcuts, but there is the login information if you wanted to use it from the research site. This site is put together specifically for research, which is what we're doing. You might log into Sora and find an ebook that is really helpful to learn about the civilization that you've chosen. There are down here some great news article websites that we haven't used. We used Newsela, but not so much a few of the others. So you can try these if you want to see if you can find some more. Then we have some research databases, and they are specifically organized by what supports middle school students. So we have Britannica School, which is one that you might see it pop up on a Destiny collection. So it might be one of these web pages here. But you can go in there and type in your own key search terms so to help you with your research. There's even a little video that has been put together by our library to help you search there. There's the EBSCO Explorer with a little helpful video. There's Brain Pop that has some really amazing ancient civilization resources. There's Pebble Go. Some of the curriculum ones are for 3 through 7. I know sometimes it looks a little bit primary, but it has some good resources on there. And then you're going to get down here and you're going to get to the high school ones. And we're not quite there yet. So stick to the ones that are available for middle school students. But this is an awesome place to start. So this is the research site. And if you are one of those people who's getting frustrated with what has already been put in here or even in the file folder, the drive folder that I shared with you on Monday, then go to the research site and start using your resources that have been given to you. This is what we really want you to do. We were just a little bit worried that you wouldn't have internet. And so we backed up to kind of give you the articles and the folders. So there's plenty of stuff here. Now, I want to show you the next part. Let me go back to our slideshow really quickly. And I'll put it in presentation mode, make sure you can see it nice and big on the screen. And I'm sorry I'm skipping around so much, but I wanted to make sure that you got to see those two resources. So Destiny Discover, there we go, and the middle school, high school research site. Now, this is what I wanted to show you for today. So yesterday, you should have filled in your supporting questions here. So this was a must do from Tuesday. Here's your must do from Wednesday. And if you made errors yesterday, you can correct those today. So let me show you what I'm looking for in this document. Okay. So you added your ancient civilization you want to research, you added your supporting questions. It's time down here to start adding your resources. So I actually left the question from yesterday. So, how did the ancient Egyptians provide food for their population? So, I'm trying to find about their stable food supply. I might research within there, find a title, put it here, an author if it's relevant, a website title if it's relevant and it has that, a copyright date, again, if it's relevant. If you're not sure, at least find a way to go back and find this. There should be some sort of resource or link to help you. And then, of course, put the date that you're accessing the resource. But make sure that you keep track of this stuff as much as you can, because coming up in the next few lessons, we're going to be talking about how to give credit where credit is due. So, how to prove that you didn't take these ideas from someone else. This is the new step. This is where you jot down the quick notes from what you read, and this is where you put your own ideas. So, what are you coming to understand about this civilization? Okay. Now, the may do on here, I just want to show you really quickly, and I'll delete this question because this is only relevant to um, ancient Egypt. But if I highlight all through there, right click, and I copy my table, okay, and then I click out of the table. Okay, now my cursor is outside the table, and I will right click again and hit paste. It's going to repeat the box. Okay, it's kind of split it on two pages here, but this is what I meant about adding more to it. So if you wanted to, because Miss Jones is a little particular about these things, I don't like my table being split between two pages. I'm going to make sure now I have a second page. So now I've got my research questions at the top, my supporting questions, and then I've got my first resource and what I learned from it, and then I will have my second resource, and I can keep adding those as much as I need. Okay, so that's what I meant on the may do portion for the slides, where it said that you may add more tables if you were running out of space. Okay, so the slides are available for you to come back and reference, but you may go ahead and get started. This document is where we are going to be looking, that's due on Saturday, to see how much research you've accomplished this week. So go ahead and get started now.